Yes?
Before the cargo container. Its drawer has... You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not bad, as it's always been. It's impossible to open a container with the rhetoric.
Mr. Dubois, I hear the meeting with Titus was a glowing success. That's such a relief. Titus can be a handful sometimes. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you today? The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Oh, Bratan, you play the old man like a three-string banjo! He has no idea!
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, We are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce. Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that. And then there will be a giant statue of him towering above it all.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, kids off speed, and landowners in a zone hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
You would look nice as a statue.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
A true flash of anger in him, as he thinks of her.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics.
That is true. People don't trust pretty people.
Why a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole. It's a local saying. Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him.
A guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know. 2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. We've been running back channel negotiations with all the major clients. I think the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on.
That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. So am I. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry.
And the kids on the street can get speed and purely done.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade, this hypothetical drug trade. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body.
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
Yes, if you start thinking about it like that, the socialist municipal body sort of is like a corporation, isn't it? It uses corporate law. We're incorporated. I like to think we're using the best parts of all the ideologies here, Harry. We're way past specific union members now. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But Harry, I've got to be honest with you. An old woman has it.
This
Yes, the same.
Union boy's gonna...
The neighbors of this...
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this.
I already have.
She will be there from 20...
More fun stuff. Seems like we were...
Great, Harry. This has been so great.
stand steady as the draw slide. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Yes, I got the mercenary.
The lieutenant leans in to listen.
That suit of armor was issued to an Oranese. He was found as a newborn. This is what the ICP knows. Then the armor followed him to Seminine, or at least I assume it did. And that's it. There are no...
A name. This is very good.
This means something to him, sometimes.
I'm glad the inquiry was helpful to your investigation, officer. Did you have any other questions? Hold on. I've got Central Jamrock Pub.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock.
He sounds worried.
Billy.
On Moreau Drive in Central Jamrock.
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately. Here we go, sir.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
It says here that they returned their last book just to... Happy we could help. Goodbye, officer.
Anything else you need from me? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Officer, care to play a game with the lonely old man? Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But he's really gone. Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him in the guard booth this morning. Wasn't even supposed to be working for another week, but he just had to prove how tough he is. Guess he was about to head home, 'cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian clothes and not the Coquette uniform I saw him in all the time. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him, 'cause he's gonna be buried without it. I repeat, an absolute Kent. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. He was like an old viper. The only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worth holding on to. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that... Yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what his last words to me were? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you for this little memorabilia. It really means the world to me.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo.
Yes.
He finds comfort in the thought.
We all got to go sometime, officer. Everyone I love is already there. Probably waiting for me. I'm not afraid to die. It's been a good run, and I really miss my friends.
We are both very sorry for your loss. Death of a friend is a terrible thing.
It is what it is. Part of life. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. Yes? What about René?
Yes, we are both very...
It is what it is. I just don't know anymore. Officer, I just can't do this right now. The Union, it just doesn't matter anymore.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. Poor things.
Tequila Sunset.
Hello again, esteemed officer. Well, what do you mean, actual source? I thought this issue was resolved. Leave? Officer, I must insist that you tell me what you've uncovered. I can't just leave everything on a whim.
Maybe it's best to tell her the truth after all. Here we go.
What?
Ma'am, what he's saying is true. We found an anthroponetic anomaly in the small Pinewood church down the coast. I don't mean to be an alarmist, and more research is needed, but it's not looking good.
But that's not in any of the ancient texts. How am I supposed to protect my bookstore from that?
She's too afraid to even say the word.
Close the shop? But it's all I have. No, there must be a way. Thank you for your help in any case. You're welcome back here anytime.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Very good. That will be 7 real for one custom die. I don't do orders on credit. Come back when you have the full amount. More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms, under the abandoned blow dryers and dusty mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front, and they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. Yeah, don't. Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure, what do you want to know? It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Oh right, Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago.
No, it was something else. It was eerie.
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. You could say so.
If the whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the doomed commercial area.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it closes.
Two cables are plugged into the...
Hi again, Gendarme.
It's the sports. He's a sports guy.
Hi again, Gendarme.
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground? Yes, this man is definitely one of the homos. I've seen them homos with my own eyes. This sexual thing seems interesting. Ask around. Become involved.
The homosexual underground? Why, yes I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate? Oh, it's a pleasure group. A Sub Rosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. sometimes even Friday night. Or Thursday night. Sometimes the congregating doesn't even end. It carries on into our daily life. Oh, we're ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning, the last things people in Rebishul have to hold on to, the true symbols of security. The meaning of man and woman, mother and father, their marriage. Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore. But do you also like the razzle-dazzle of gold? Do you like parties and discos and having fun under the vibrant lights of Saturday night? Because instead of the traditional family unit, we're going to have all this razzmatazz. And mysteries, of course, too. Mysteries of sexual nature, very esoteric. And disco music and drugs. You can't just get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows, maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed. I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look. Absolutely wonderful. Bye-bye, gendarme.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation. Okay.
She nods, silently, then picks up the cold coffee and holds it. Two neon-lit shapes.
Yes? What is it? It means I'm a patrol officer, sir.
Again? I can't believe this shit.
It's you again. What is it?
weathered brown door. The lieutenant motioned. This is the door. Get yourself together.
Don't knock. Just leave. You don't need this. You don't need to sad it up.
Hello? Who is it? The police? A moment.
There's fear.
Come in.
It's you from. I don't think.
The lieutenant, he must feel vulnerable without his glasses. Is this why he's letting you take the lead?
Is this about Vic? No. This is.
Definitely no small talk. This isn't the time or place. I don't want to. I don't want to do this.
Do what?
Officer.
Too late. You ruined it.
Excuse me? What?
She's in pain.
We are very...
Oh. Oh. But he was just...
He was just here.
I understand that this...
What happened to him? Tell me. Why?
You stupid.
It looks like he slipped on the boardwalk.
And you just... found him there? How long had he been there?
She doesn't reply. You hear the clock tick.
Is there a...
No.
It burned.
God. Should I call them? Should I tell them to come home? All right. Just tell me. What do I need to do next? Where is he? Can I see him? And who should...
He was taken. Is there anything...
No. I'll call you if something comes up.
Again,
She... These...
I'll take it.
We should step outside and talk. So, the death notification.
He's avoiding your gaze. This is the time to say how sorry you are about...
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I'll call the station when we're finished with the day, and let them know the name of the deceased. There's not much we can do for them anymore.
They have to. It's not your place to live their lives.
And, officer, I've seen...
I really have, he thinks. She was strong. The door is closed again.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? What we do?
She nods.
Our tenant, the policeman.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon, I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your...
There's some tear. An empty cigarette packet. There's some tear. Two and...
A tragedy.
He shakes his head. Whoever tossed it here. You see traces of... metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, coarse life is garbage.
And Mikhail noticed the windows. You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West...
Nice to meet you.
Oh yes, so Mikhail, they had to deal with monitor glare, especially in the summer. Yes,
He's just making up fancy words.
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of him, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers. Mikhail's a little tired today. But I assume you're not here for giant worms when...
This man is your half-brother. You feel it. But why?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
Of course, Detective. I wouldn't have assumed anything else. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but the Vespertine Department of Justice has published a rather interesting paper on the criminal profiling in former socialist states. If not, then you definitely should. If not for tips and tricks, then just for theoretical curiosity. Anyway, that's just a little something that sprang to mind. You were saying? Aha! But it's not just any empty old... What not a lot of people...
Hold on. What's R&D? It looks old and...
Apologies, it's an act. You're probably more...
Mea culpa.
That's not surprising. They started out as... Still, Tricentennial was It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, which is a feat of engineering.
He assumes something like a...
Indeed.
The revolution!
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. All of this was built by Felt, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Felt built this side of town for R&D. Yes, they even built...
A pleasure wheel?
Perhaps remind...
Yes. Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end. They used them. What's the Mars decree? It's a beautiful... I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Actually, no one... 10 years ago...
Wait. Did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center? He did it. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dum?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center for Contemporary Arts. In fact, I'm not. But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was very, very cool. Though I understand the socio-economic... Yes, the official... Who knows?
Two seagulls circle in the sky. You look up and think, really? Or was there a fourth prototype?
But of course. What else? No, thanks to you.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it.
From here to the whirling, I can't see how. The church is in the way.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. Just dead and dying locusts. Poor things.
Yes, what is it?
The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever as it haunts all men. The highest category of historic individual and embodiment of the world spirit. In a way, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built from the ground up to accommodate an authentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. And innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office. No, we are alone. 300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi, she is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world. Many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene La Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir Laclais. Also that she was gorgeous beyond beauty, draped in ancient sadness. Are you sure you want to remember this bit of historic trivia? Standing under a long, slender form like this, dwarfed?
Yes! Big bummer! Boring history! Gotta keep it light, man! Keep it moving! Get fucked up instead!
The past. It's a silo of sadness, fermenting.
Fuck this pain, Bratan! It's unhealthy!
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman. She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court, a court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous. It was on her advice that Irene La Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her lungs started glowing in her chest. Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But terrifying, it's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day. Constantly surrounded by her terriers, she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity. She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb in icons such as this. She was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum. Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her.
Lieutenant Yefreiter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
That's mega cool, man. You coming up with theories in here like that. Right on.
We should board that old spooker up, Andre. It'll only disturb the people while they're trying to dance, unshackled by the failure of humanism.
How about we don't do that, Lloyd? She looks cool.
Hey, her innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember? You have the headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back. So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for. The mother of humanism stands above you. A precious and complex. Why? That does seem to be a problem. Maybe you meant something else? I don't know. What are we thinking of? Part of your mind has gone on to other things already. Only a strange little sadness remains. The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax paint. Interesting setup here, like kids preparing for a school science fair. It's pretty neat. I'm sure you did. You have an exploratory creative streak.
This? Oh, we're trying to see if we can come up with some cool new special effects to add to the visual aspect of our club experience.
We tinker with things. Art, music, chemistry.
Some chemicals, when mixed, can, you know, change colour or sort of blow up. Blow up! Blow up! Not like, you know, in a dangerous way, or, well, we're not going to do it in a dangerous way. Besides, did you know that smell experiences are all the rage now at the most forward-thinking venues?
Very big in art circles.
Yes, chemistry has many uses. And police work too.
The young man looks startled for a moment, but then flashes you his most winsome smile.
I hope you get to experience one of our light smell shows sometime, sir. It'll be a blast.
Feel free to come back later and have a blast with these exemplars of youthful avant-gardism. But we really need to return to the present now.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by heavy workers' boots. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
Kuno saw you wield that can. Sweet graffito action, pig. Kuno likes that delinquent shit. Kuno's part is. You're just shit at life. Now what's your case with Kuno? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmice. Kuno doesn't...
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. It has given up all its secrets. There seems to be a sunken sea fort on the islet in the bay. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. This coin-operated view, your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk. The curtains on the display open. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. It looks as if it was abandoned, quite its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Can you tell? From this distance, I don't think it's possible.
It's not. The details are blurry. There's water vapor in the way and waves cut into the islet. The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? What would you like to know? Of course there are. We're on an... I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not? We are. And the city of... I haven't seen it.
Actually, it's for crossing.
Neither is this.
She's having a good time arguing.
Good.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, a lorry stuck in the track. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see...
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is.
He was acting tough before.
Right to work! Right to work! Sure.
Hello, compatriote. You have some... Officer, the flashlight, please. Hello, hello. Let me know. Sure, let me have a look. All right, let's see it. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't need bloodthirsty mercenaries knocking on my door looking for their missing toy. Besides, this gear costs a fortune. There's no one in Martinez with that kind of money.
It feels like he would have accepted the risk if he hoped to profit from it. It's not greed, though. Deep down, he's a gambler, provided the stakes are sufficiently interesting.
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time.
The portal reel is just what you needed. You press the large button marked Commencer, and the tape starts spinning. It sounds like someone's moving in the room, getting comfortable. Then the organ starts playing a simple, melancholic tune, echoing in the hallway, telling you about the tiniest church in Cessons, surrounded by even tinier yard. Within seconds you know, this is the one. A click, then silence for a bit. Then the tape stops spinning. Of course you could sing "Yup," and the B-side of the tape contains the instrumental version. It's like the world itself is telling God. You have to convince God to let you sing carry. The lieutenant watches. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, like a smooth draw.
Please repeat. Good. Good.
Really?
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a hand held. It's a project report written by the first few pages give an overview of the cap in its short time of existence. The first tranche of seed find. Eventually, the damage 400,000 real. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian fortress accident employed 18 people and a single overburdened producer. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate. A rate that could... The production scale... It was impossible not... They tried to make a 4 million... They thought they could bridge... They couldn't. No. Definitely not a chance. Even then, that is until they discovered at the 11th, this place was to be the Valley of the so many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men. All of what do you really want to know? This seems good call. It's more than the number of atoms in the observable universe. Well, yeah, that. And on the nature of the data log, what is clear is that one day, and something spooky, the team spent weeks on the phone. Always read. Mysteriously enough, it was the lead programmer, S. Lukanen, killed her. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement. That's not what the production schedule ends with a few random notes. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I still haven't got an answer from. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Sanbrun 1147. That's what the street sign tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisp. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. Nothing happens. Like a smooth draw, the filaments, the speaker comes.
Good after. Please repeat. Good. Please. Good.
Really?
Fortress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the frame with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan. A black crisscross of letters covers its surface. The filament slides out of its glowing nest.
Hello. Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? I'm not purchasing any more clothing, and especially that.
Your mother is a necrotic
Another time, perhaps.
You see rows of toy soldiers. They're not all blue. These figurines...
This is what the loyalists look.
Which ones? Ah, those.
All the old boomboxes. A typical Martinez streetlight sits among a sort. A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types.
If you say so, but you better stay away from those immoral occult rituals.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring
You're a
crime fiction. These books, what's more, not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the... You see, a killing is declared. Shelves filled to...
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand. Yes, you might even call it a feature of the universe that you need to hold tools to use them. I'm sorry the fundamental laws of the universe don't seem to agree with you, Detective, but the fact remains that it's too dark to see in here without a flashlight. So come on,
Some areas are
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? Very good. That will be 7 real for 1 custom die. 1 universal die for Wirral Untethered.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce 1 die per customer. Oh, it's you again. I'm sorry. I'm a...
Large letters on the front form a title, Wirral. The colorful box is illustrated with bucolic vistas. The cover art also features odd-looking humanoids, some short, some taller. Text underneath the title in smaller typeface reads, 3rd edition, Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel adds, a sword and sorcery adventure board game with new maps and miniatures. A blurb on the back reads, tired of the tedium and toil of modern life? Escape to Wirral. Leave behind e-solas and nations with their petty squabbles. Discard electricity, magnets, and boring technological widgets. Succumb to a world of high pasternal fantastique. Unleash your imagination and create an adventure of endless possibilities. Discover the terrible secret threatening Wirral. Can your band of adventurers save the world? Man up. This is about having structured fun. All you have to do is read an intricate rulebook, study an assortment of maps, Unfold the illustrated game board and start rolling dice. In no time, you could be romping through grasslands with low-level characters, hunted by Iskala riders, or battling unspeakable monsters in endless dungeons fraught with danger and despair, conjuring up forceful magics to aid your quest. You pry open the box. Inside you find a folded-up map, a small booklet, a 24-sided die, and a little plastic figurine. A reprint of a crude hand-drawn map. The top left corner reads, Lands of Wirral. The map features both small villages and mid-sized towns with odd names, in addition to meadows, forests, hills, lakes and seas, also with odd names. It doesn't seem to correspond with anything you've seen thus far. It's not a very helpful map. A quick guide to the magical races of Wirral. Create your own hero, choosing from any of these completely unique and fantastical backgrounds. The options are in order of importance. The Welkin, the Tweog, the humans, the fairy folk, and the pygmies. The Welkin, tall, lithe, and graceful, with long flowing hair and pointy ears. They're known for being powerful magic users, but can also hold their own in a brawn-driven fight. The Welkin come with a variety of exciting sub-races. High Welkin, Forest Welkin, Lake Welkin, and Snow Welkin. But if you're not feeling experimental, a basic Welkin will always do. A grand race of industrious mountain people. They're short, stout, and muscular, and enjoy digging for gold and other precious minerals. They're also well versed in the art of combat, where they prefer to use axes and hammers. The Tweog also come in a few different sub-races. Hill Tweog, Shield Tweog, and Dark Tweog. They're just humans. What else is there to tell? They're average in all stats, and jacks of all trades. A very small race of flying people, known for being mischievous, full of trickery. They often lure people into their magical traps. There are no sub-races for the fairies. The least popular of the Wirral races, the pygmies, are short, rotund, and dim-witted. Pygmies live in small villages made of shoddy wooden dwellings. They spend most of their days tilling the earth and smoking their pipes. There are no sub-races for the pygmies. It's made from some sort of wood and has been decorated with peculiar plant motifs. You place the die into your pocket. It's always good to have luck on your side. You see a man in ragged clothes wearing a lopsided hat and wielding some sort of a firearm.
Interesting. A communard. It is not. The communards are not a part of the game setting. I guess someone misplaced it during the packaging process. Good luck finding people who'd want to play as communard.
You pick the figurine up by the base to meet your gaze. The little plastic man stares back at you, his face contorted into a disturbing shout. Then you pocket it. A colorful box with the title, Wirral. You pry open the box. Inside, a quick guide. The options are in, you stuff it back. A colorful box. scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, reaching from one corner to the other. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the crack, unable to piece together the scattering of bullet holes looks like a scattering of bullet holes is spread across, unable to piece together. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall, unable to piece together the big picture just now. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the crack, unable to piece together. A scattering of bullet holes is spread, unable to piece together the big picture just now. There's a scattering of bullet holes is spread across, unable to piece together. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the crack, unable to piece together. A scattering of bullet holes is spread across the cracked wall. A row of ghostly shades stand facing the wall. There are many of them, a dozen at least, their heads lowered and eyes blindfolded. It's quiet, no sound, no movement. 10 meters away, other shades are lined up in an orderly manner, automatic rifles primed. A gust of wind blows by. The coats of the firing squad flap slowly in the breeze. A single person stands on the side. Snowflakes fall on the wooden planks and the surrounding sand dunes, covering the land with the white of innocence. A long time has passed since the moment of this fusillading. Rain and brine have since washed all the blood away. Not a trace remains. The abundance of bullet holes leads to two options. Either an inordinate amount of executions were performed here, or they did not use a conscience round, where only one soldier has the loaded rifle. Looks like this was a mass execution with everyone fully armed. A host of men, probably in everyday clothes, ragged from the conflict and covered in dust. They were not sitting, a common practice for executions in some nations, as demonstrated by the height level of the bullet holes. They stand, facing the wall. It's impossible to discern any details about their personality or background. Ordinary people, familiar, each and every one of them. Comrades, the forsaken, the wretched, who tried to rise against the horrors of the world. 7 men in combat uniforms and dark coats, holding automatic rifles aimed at the people. Soldiers from some side, but from which one? Men of duty, dark duty. Murderers, twisted by orders. Young boys forced into killing. The commandant, the one who gives the order. Machine gun fire crackling through the air. The lights of the muzzle flashes dancing on his face.
I don't know. I don't know who died here, lined up beside that horrible wall. It could have been any of the parties involved in the revolution. Perhaps the ones executed here were the loyalist conservatives, killed by the communists at the start of the Civil War. Or it could have been the communists, put to death during the last stretch of the conflict by the coalition forces.
Remember what Trent Heidelstein said about Veld?
Another likely scenario.
Or maybe...
Yeah, it's very unlikely the coalition forces were the ones who died here. They were always the last ones against the wall. To be honest, if a coalition member was anyone in this situation, it was the commandant, the superior giving the orders.
A cold sea wind blows away the figures. A row of ghostly shades facing a crumbling wall, with another 7 shades stand. A cold sea.
Hey, was there something you need? No, you don't. It's not.
He tries not to look at you. It's dangerous to acknowledge the karaoke man.
The whirling doesn't need more sad style. That's one of the styles it can do without right now. It's for no one. It's a prop. I'm not letting anyone use it after the great karaoke catastrophe of 44. A lot of people got killed, but... Okay, yes, it's for some clients. Ha! Well, we don't have...
The man in the vet. This is the look of a man who...
Fine.
Oh yeah. Time to do the damage. The stage is all set up.
So, are you ready for your thing now? Let me know when I should turn on the karaoke carousel.
I can see that.
Immediately, a loud feedback noise startles the room. You feel like an amateur. There are some people out there, but mostly a post-meridian slumber has fallen on the premise. Not super lively. Yes, you can always do it in the evening. It will be...
Hello again. Sure, what's on your mind? But of course.
You see, a few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in poor things. A few locusts, The trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You poor things.
Yes?
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
It's the ledger you found. Oh, and the cool piece of toilet paper is stuck to the back. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse, handwritten logs on dozens of You don't exactly close them. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. You stare at the card, willing your hand to move. It's slightly, ever so slightly. Your hand shakes. Your
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Not much. Something.
So...
No.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Before you get to the church, there's some way. I don't know exactly. Of note, the old fish. No one. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you used to be a supply depot, and now you know everything there is to know about this coast.
The trap is full of locust. Poor things.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the way.
The bed is comforting.
Mister? Oh. Okay. Bye!
Yes? What about me? No.
The lieutenant nods.
Good. Let's change.
elements. Guards, you rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door.
We don't get in there. Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you... Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, and does the...
An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle a bit, then push. Yes, better that way. As you fold your fingers into a fist, you realize you could knock anyone out with one punch. The white ceramic gloves wrap around your digits comfortably. The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and voluptuous, you really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. For the day you have to fight someone covered. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the hand. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the elements. You rattle the hand. An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by... You rattle the handle a bit, then... An old door, worn by elements. You rattle... An old door, worn by elements. You rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by elements. You rattle... An old door, worn by elements. You rattle... An old door, worn by elements. Guard, you rattle the handle a bit. An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by... You rattle... An old door, worn by elements. You... An old door, worn by... You rattle the... There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter life is garbage.
Tequila sunset. Wonderful. Not much, but it will do. The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinaise. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Coran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is that nobody knows the exact nature or identity of the phenomenon.
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Hett is walking home from a late shift at the harbor. It's almost midnight. She stops for a cigarette near the canal.
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone. The image comes to you effortlessly, as though you'd walked the same streets yourself 1,000 times.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides. What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see? What? No, I told you this is a Martinaise legend. It's a man with no head on his shoulders, wearing a fawn tracksuit, searching for the legendary fawn cap that went missing when he lost his head.
I thought that he rode a headless pig.
Well, there are many versions of this story. The most peculiar of which has the headless found rider riding on the back of another headless man. Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Het had to endure years of psychotherapy before she was able to look at a horse or tracksuit again. And she's one of the lucky ones. Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless found rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it?
I've read the case file. But please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ulla de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first cold rain of the season.
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat. Thin lines reach out from the rods into the sea. Small droplets start appearing on the surface with increasing frequency.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ulla turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe lightning has struck. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless found rider looming on the horizon. Ulla makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered. Word on the street is that she, gave herself facial deconstruction surgery. Real grisly stuff.
That part, at least more or less, corresponds to the case file.
See? Told you. Anyway, that's the story of the headless found rider. Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that. I have to admit, that's pretty high concept. Still not as awesome as a headless rider in a found tracksuit, though. Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. There are a couple of possibilities, though. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang he had infiltrated. Now he rides, searching for his lost-found cap, plotting revenge.
O headless brother, where art thou?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's how I know it's right. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories?
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. That's why it's critical to stay well hydrated. No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
I actually do have one. The strangest of them all. But I'll need to fortify myself before I can tell that one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some story juice. Interesting. Ah, this is what they use to keep the working man going. This last one is the most Martinet story I've ever heard. I've never heard it mentioned outside of here. At first, I thought it was a joke, to be honest. But I've been on the coast 8, 9 months now, and in that time I've seen at least 3 expeditions come through, searching for something.
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reeds, near an abandoned construction yard. The young men look over their shoulders suspiciously. The sound of their digging seems loud in the sudden silence.
Hey, hey! Fuck you, Tequila. No, Tequila. Most people already know where they live. It's guys like you and me that are the exceptions. Magic animals? No, man, this is serious stuff. All kinds. I've seen archaeologists, gangsters, even a bunch of ad agency types. I'm telling you, Tequila, this thing's got a pull on certain kinds of people. You know, obsessive types. People with predilections. Some of those expeditions come back after a week or so, looking haggard and dejected. Others don't return at all. The first time I saw one of these expeditions, I thought they were fucking with me. There was no way it could be true. It was just too high concept, even for me.
Wait. There's no way. It can't be. Or can it?
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story, to be perfectly honest. You're in a fragile state, and it might be too much for you to handle. Okay, fine, I'll tell you. But I'm warning you, it's pretty out there. Our story begins at a legendary design studio, right here in Martinez. There was this designer. His exact name is lost to history, but in life, he was a legend. Made it big in Aranya, where he did some real pioneering work on grotesque and sans serif typography. A fucking genius, man. That is, if he even existed. Who knows? It's an urban legend, after all.
He existed, all right. You feel it deep within your basal ganglia. He was as real as you are. I'm talking about...
Anyway, sometime later he started his own personal studio here in Martinez. And that's when he started working on some really wild stuff. I'm talking some glass-smooth, forward-looking design language, the kind of thing that would totally overthrow the old regime, design-wise. But then, something turned. You see, it's widely known that nose candy and pioneer graphic design work go hand in hand. You know Tequila, nose candy, the White Railroad, party powder.
The kids on the streets also call it Snow Day.
Sinus salt, the White Knight.
Can't see, for its popularity among the aristocratic class of the prior century.
Along with a number of more benign street names. Blow, of course, but also Flake, Powder, Pearl, Really, anything that's white will get the idea across. He's talking about cocaine.
Shit, yeah, Tequila. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You've got to understand, the work this guy was doing was so high concept that regular amounts of cocaine just weren't cutting it. By the end, they were bringing it in by the lorry load. Now, as you might imagine, snorting that much cocaine can't be healthy for a regular human, right?
Right. Wrong. Do it all the time. All day, baby.
Hey, Tequila, pay attention. The story goes that one day he was balls deep in work on what he thought would be his pièce de résistance, an advert so minimal it contained neither text nor images, just pure white. Apparently the idea was too high concept even for this genius. He dropped dead right at his desk before he could finish. His last words are recorded to have been, "It's as white as a blizzard of cocaine." But the story doesn't end there. Supposedly, when they performed the autopsy, the coroner discovered nearly a quarter kilo of coke jammed into his nasal cavity. That's right. 250 grams of blow had accumulated in there over the years. We're talking high-grade Saramaritsian pure. Not that cut-rate shit your grandma does. There are those who believe the designer was buried with this quarter key of nose candy still lodged in his sinuses. That's what those expeditions are looking for.
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. No. Wow! Here's the kicker. This designer, this lead designer of a world-famous design studio, was born in Martinez. A local boy, Martin Martinez. That's why he brought his studio here, back to where it all began. And that's why they buried him here, too. Perhaps right under Ab's pipe there. Or probably further down the coast, or in some yard in Martinez proper. A hidden mausoleum, no one knows exactly.
No, my grandma always told me his grave lay somewhere on the islets on the bay.
This is ludicrous and physically impossible. Sinuses can contain that amount of anything.
Now, detective. Always the skeptic. My only question is, where does one get a shovel?
Don't listen to him or his grandma. He's just making things up.
No, my grandma told me. I've heard other people say it too. That it's underwater. Or no, maybe it was the storm sewers.
Or maybe it's in the air. Or in an ancient state pyramid offshore.
In a pyramid? Now that would be something.
The archaeologists say they want to put it in a museum, the gangsters say they want to sell it on the black market, and the ad agency guys say they're seeking inspiration.
Bullshit. They just want to snort it. But you could beat them to it, Harry. You could snort the magic skull cocaine instead.
I'm pretty sure they all just want to snort it, though.
And why wouldn't they, eh? Sounds like right strong stuff.
They're pretty vague about it in general. The gangsters like to claim they're looking for the grave of a friend, with picks and shovels. The archaeologists act all official about it, saying they're conducting serious research. Honestly, I think they're not really scientists, just rich. The junkies, for some reason, are pretty upfront about it. They just say they're looking to snort some blow out of a dead man's nasal cavity.
Honest men on an honest quest. You should join them.
By now, I'd say I know about as much about it as anyone on the coast. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on just a minute. Finding it right now is literally impossible.
What?
For one, the way is blocked by that big lorry that says Delta Logistics Company on the side. You definitely have to search the area behind that lorry too, yet it is impassable. And second, outfitting an expedition like that is expensive. It'd have to be a big production to do the cocaine skull justice. You need new gear, people who know what they're doing, all kinds of provisions. It's just not feasible within the economic and temporal frame of our current setup. Matter of fact, unless a bunch of money just falls out of the sky, we might never know what's up with that skull.
I have to agree. We barely have what we need to solve the case we've got now. We can't afford to run around chasing after quasi-mythical pieces of drug paraphernalia. Besides, it would look extremely bad for the RCM to be caught up in something that has the word cocaine writ large on it. The PR is tricky on this.
What are you talking about? Don't give up. Maybe there's another way. Maybe up around the coast.
Your loss could have been an amazing, ridiculous adventure.
That's all right. We've got plenty of adventures for one case.
Right. I've never heard it...
A shovel hits the sand somewhere behind the reed.
All kinds. I've seen some of those the first...
There's no way. You...
I'm not even sure I should be telling you this story. Okay, fine. There was this...
He existed, or I took...
Anyway, but then something... You've got to understand now.
Right. Wrong. All day.
Hey, apparently the idea was too high concept even for this G. I know, but the story... That's right. There are those...
The cocaine skull.
The cocaine skull. No. Here's the... That's why... Or
No, my...
This is
Now, my only question is, where does one get a shovel?
Whoa, whoa.
What?
For one, and second, it's just...
I have to... Besides, it would look...
Wait.
Yeah, well, that's the reality situation for you.
Bringing of the Lawjaw. Okay, so we now know why you have Lawjaw, why you say the law in a weird manner, and why your jaw does that thing. You had polio as a child. You hadn't gotten vaccinated. It must have been right after the revolution. Not a lot of vaccine going around then. So you got infantile paralysis due to polio, and this jaw thing is a complication from that. Admittedly, it's not very funny, but you overcame it. This little infant survived and became a sharp-shooting super cop. So, fuck you, polio.
It's you again. What is it? It's you again. What is it? It's you again. What is it?
A colorful display of there, in that dark green glass, all in vain.
I'm obliged to...
Don't ask. Know this. You will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
Mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old... No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at... Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about union guys. Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks at all kinds of... left with the...
South Safari. A lot of bulk chemical manufacturing going on there. A lot of cargo shipments being made, too.
He's a union man. Honestly,
Oil for the wheels. Much needed in stressful...
Whoa. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some... Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through... I'd best not. The night guard. He was a peculiar fellow. Headstrong and proud. We didn't really talk all that much. He died recently. Something with his ticker. Sure, mister. What can Leo do for you?
This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. René left his uniform neatly folded on the table. Generally speaking, it would be dishonorable to take it. But then, it looks like a military uniform, and wearing that is very honorable. So, a conflict of honor, it's up to you.
I suppose René is not going to be needing it anymore. It's a bit too colorful for my taste, though. Fantastic. Try not to wear it with other similarly colorful clothes, okay?
This is the Night Watchman's boot. Wow, this jacket makes you feel strong, as if your blood is mixing with that of the venerable Philippian loyalists of old. Apologies, you're right. The need for a strong central government has always been clear to you. You're a true patriot of Revachol, born to do it. It's time to clean up the streets and restore the city to its former glory. Whether you like it or not, this jacket gives you serious nationalist cred.
Mr. Dubois, why on earth are you dressed like my recently deceased security guard? From where I'm sitting, it looks more like you've robbed a dead man, Mr. Dubois. But as this matter is far below my pay grade, I'm just going to ask, how can I help you today? I'm always happy to educate and entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind? Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else? Great! You want to bounce something off your old friend, Mr. Clare, right? Well, let's hear it, Harry. Absolutely, Harry.
Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. It's about the low magnesium levels and not the high alcohol levels. Yeah, the other things. Long live the other things. Made you strong as an ox, they have. Yes, and it's critical. Look at yourself. You're practically devolving into a fish due to the lack of magnesium in your bloodstream. Maggot sideways? What are you talking about? You need to maggot up. You've probably had 2 heart attacks and a minor stroke already, and the only prescription is insane amounts of magnesium. Yes, if you want to live, you need to evolve. You need to transcend the carbon barrier. Go to the apothecary and buy insane amounts of magnesium. It will reverse the damage to your circulatory system. Just remember, it's not the alcohol. Buy more of that too. Alcohol is not the problem, and it's certainly not the dextroamphetamine, nor pyrrolidone, that sweet, sweet psychoactive radiation drug, nor smoking for 40 years. It's the lack of magnesium and excess of coffee. You should stop drinking coffee. It wreaks havoc on your gastrointestinal system. Hear that? Magnesium. That's what you're lacking. The magnesium levels in your blood are dangerously low. Before the cargo container.
Wandering man. How can I help you? The mercenary, eh?
The man whispers a jaunty tune.